Good morning, everybody. Stu Smith here, going live on Monday, Christmas week. Hope you have a good one this week. Should be a good one for us as well. So here's what we're doing today. We're going to talk a little bit about changing the focus a little bit. I think a lot of people focus on having a lifespan. They want to live to their 80s or 90s even, but how do you want to live? That's the key. And that all depends on your health span. Not sure who made up that word. Could be a better one, I think, but you get the gist. It is focusing on you still being able to live independently, do the things that you like to do well into your 70s and 80s and 90s, and not necessarily rely on people to do the basic things for you. Sometimes it happens because of horrible illness out of your control. I'm not trying to um, say that we can fix all of these. A lot of life is luck, but it is also preparation for those later decades. And you do that now. You do it now. So, what's that mean? Um, you're in your 20s. You should be focusing on optimal performance, being at your best, because you can still be at your best well into your 30s, even into your 40s, competing with people younger than you and be at your best, at whatever activity you want to do. So you have a large window there. So take advantage of it because it's fun. It's fun to see what your human body can do with a little bit of effort. And along the way, you're going to build some mental toughness and resilience that I promise you, you will carry over into those years where you start to see a little decline, but you fight it all the way. I am well into that phase right now, mid 50s. No, I'm not as fast as I used to be, not as strong as I used to be, but I still get after it and I find my new challenges, whether that be a new PR with blood work or just trying to lose a little bit of weight and be at my college weight, which I'm about 8, 9 pounds off right now, which I'm pretty happy with. I'd like to be a little lighter. I think under 200 for me for the rest of my life would be ideal instead of being hovering around 208, 209. So I still have goals, still working towards them. They're just different than what they used to be. But I know the things I'm doing now are going to enable me to keep moving into my 60s and into my 70s and into my 80s with a little bit of luck and the same mindset that I have now. And that's what I'm trying to help people do because it starts now. It starts when you're young. Get to be as good as you can at whatever you like to do, whatever you want to do. Be an asset. If you don't have anything that you want to do, whether it's a sport or activity, just get good at everything. I mean, that's what tactical fitness is. Tactical fitness is really just mastering everything, not being great at anything. You might have a natural tendency to be better at something. We all do. But I promise you that along the way, there's going to be things that you need to work harder on because you're not good at them, because you've never done them and you kind of suck at them. Those are fun challenges to add to your thing. And that's why we do the seasonal tactical fitness periodization. We started this today, day one of our winter lift cycle. Actually, we're probably going to go into this one, the increased strength crush the PST, because most of the guys around me are all wanting to go spec ops. So we do a little block periodization model with that one. But anyway, that's why we break it up. We break up the year into getting good at everything. And that means right now we're focusing on strength, power, speed, agility. This morning went on we're doing sprints on a track. We'll lift later and we'll swim later. Uh, and so that's what we're focused on this winter lift cycle: strength, power, speed, agility, but we maintain our calisthenics and cardio, endurance, muscle, stamina. And then when we come around to the spring again, that can't happen soon enough, if you ask me. We start focusing on more cardio, more endurance, more muscle stamina, and ramp it up throughout the year, throughout the spring and the summer with running and rucking and more swimming, and just getting really good cardio conditioning and muscle stamina conditioning. Um, all the time we're focusing on mobility and flexibility as well, because those matter with what we're doing. You want to stay mobile so you can streamline better in the water and kick and um, tread water and do those things that require hip, knee, and ankle mobility and shoulder mobility. So that's what I mean by, if you don't have anything to do, just get good at everything. That's a fun challenge, because you may find that instead of like just getting strong and having an endurance weakness, or just getting really good at running and having a strength weakness, you might feel a little better just getting good at everything. And then as you go through this journey, you may find a cycle where, you know what, this winter, I think I'm going to pick it up a notch and see if I can hit some old 1 rep maxes. I'd be careful with that. A lot of times that ego comment right there will get you hurt. In fact, I did it earlier this fall, playing around with some heavier benches that I haven't done in years. And I can't say I injured my shoulder, but I definitely feel it. Like something's in there that's not happy with me right now. I think it's a bicep tendon. So it's rotator cuff type feel to it. Uh, so I got to chill out a little bit. So anyway, that's part of this journey, is increasing your health span. And if you can do things, get good at everything, not particularly great at one thing, you'll see that you'll just be much more durable when you're older, uh, and help prevent yourself from getting injured and unable to do things. So that's what we are focusing on here, um, this year in 2026, just increasing our health span. And think about it this way: every time you work out this year, think about what it's going to do for you 10 years later. A lot of young people don't even think that way. 10 years is an eternity. But I promise you, as you get a few of these 10-year cycles under your belt, it is like a blink. They go fast. So enjoy them and make them useful for something that you can pull out of your fitness savings account, when you're in your 50s and 60s, and say, oh man, I'm glad I never stopped deadlifting, or I never stopped running, or I never stopped swimming, doing calisthenics. I can still do 15 pull-ups. I'm pretty happy with that. You're right. So whatever that is, keep doing it. And 10 years from now, you will thank yourself for doing it. I promise you. Promise you. So anyway, I'm writing an article on increasing your health span, not just your lifespan, because we all have family members that have gone on before us, generations older than us, that lived a great long time. Some of them lived very durable lives and stayed working. And, you know, I got an 85-year-old mother in law that's crushing it, moving mulch around the yard and plants. And I mean, she's just, it's the way you want to be. It's the way you want to be. Still driving, still socializing. Otherwise, it's a rough few years. All right. So if you guys got questions, send them. I'm going to finish writing this article. If you don't, looks like Raymond says, Merry Christmas, dude. Thanks for all you do. Have a great winter lift cycle. Thank you, Ray. You too. I'm looking forward to it. It's our first day of the winter lift cycle, and we've been slowly progressing towards it over the fall, but yeah, now it's time. Focus on a little less running and a little more lifting. I'm 6'2", or 600, 6 feet 200. I think that's good. I'm trying to get to 180 for buds to prioritize speed. Is that what you would recommend? Well, I will tell you this. I was 6 feet 195 going through buds, and it was fine. I didn't feel like I was weak for sure. I didn't feel like I was too big to do obstacle courses and run 4-mile timed runs. So it really kind of depends on your athletic history. If you have some strength training behind those 200 pounds, then I would say, stay between 190, 195, if that makes you feel better. Um, but if you're chunky and a lot of that 200 pounds is not muscle, then yeah, I would probably try to get rid of some of that layer, at least 10 to 15 pounds of it, but try to put on some muscle while you're doing it. It's just going to help you. You don't want to get too skinny, because I will tell you this, it does get cold out there, and a little layer of muscle and fat, aka bulk, will help you stay warm, especially if you're going through buds at any point, because you're going to have a winter training cycle at some point. It's 6 months long. Well, really, if you count prep, 8 months long. Um, and there, I was colder in dive phase than I was in first phase, because we were diving every day in the water, hitting thermoclines and freezing, compared to first phase in late October. I think we went through Hell Week around Halloween, so we weren't in winter yet, but dive phase all winter. So you're going to get cold. So stay, have some bulk on you. Let's see. Gary said, "How can you tell if you are over or under striding while distance running?" Good question. Um, I would look at, like, get somebody filming you and see if you are getting a little close to heel striking or striking your heel first. Because when you open up that stride, it's real easy to come in hard with that heel, even though you may roll across it. Um, Whereas if you have a little shorter stride, your feet kind of stay under your body. They can reach out a little bit, obviously, but by the time you have put all your body weight on your foot, it is directly under you and your whole foot's on the ground, if that makes sense. Um, but if you notice, I mean, all you got to do is go on YouTube and look over striding and under striding, and you'll see a video of some guy showing you what they perceive as overstriding and what they feel is understriding. Um, Usually a cadence of 170, 180 is what a lot of people will do. That's steps per minute, but everybody's a little bit different. Um, so a lot of people will say don't run further, like don't open up your stride too much, run faster, so have a higher cadence than you do longer stride. And depending on your leg length, that will also change. So take a look at that, Gary. Take a look at cadence of running, distance running, like how many steps per minute, um, as well as understriding and overstriding, and that should help you, because you'll see that if you're trying to hit that certain foot strikes per minute, you can't overstride because it lengthens the time of that stride, and it's really hard to get it. So you shorten the stride a little bit so you can hit that cadence. And that also comes with conditioning if you're able to maintain that cadence as well. So I hope that didn't go too far left or right on that answer. What should my 100-meter swim pace be? I'm currently swimming a 14700 pace. I can hold that for about 1200 meters. I mean, that's fine. I think that's good. But if you want to be good at swimming without fins for the 500-yard test or 500-meter test, depending on what branch of service you're doing, what I try to do is get people to that yard or close to a meter per second. A meter's a little bit longer than a yard, so it's a little more challenging to get a meter per second. So 100, put it this way, if it was 100 yards, I'd say let's do 100 yards per second. Right? I'm sorry. If it's 100 yards, let's do a yard per second. That'd be 100 seconds, so a minute 40. But if it's meters, here's the kicker. There's 54 yards in 50 meters. So you're actually swimming at a yard per second, just under, because 148 would be 108 yards, which is what you're swimming when you swim 100 meters. So my advice to you is if you're swimming the combat swimmer stroke, that's solid. You know, if you're swimming meters, if you're swimming yards, it's not. You want to be closer to 100. Does that make sense to you, JSA 004? Hey, Stu, can rucking up to 50 pounds, some miles, help you with boats and log? Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what we do. We do rucks on the soft sand every week, every Friday. We will ruck, or we'll ruck hills if we don't have soft sand. Or if you don't have hills, we do stair steppers. And if you don't have a stair stepper, get a step and go up and down it. That with weight vest or a ruck on. You got to work those legs. You got to make running a little bit harder. You got to make rucking a little bit harder because that's what running with a boat will do. That's what running in soft sand will do. It's just harder. So get used to working more when you run. That sometimes that's adding weight, that's adding elevation, that's adding steps, or it's adding soft sand. Between all of those, you can prepare your legs for running with soft sand, running logs and boats, and it's a good way to do it. In fact, there's a great article I wrote a while back after a firefighter taught us about weight vest stair steppers or rucking stair steppers. And the article is called, "For those looking to join special ops, weighted stair steps are a useful tool." It's over on military.com. Check it out. I'll put the link over here in YouTube and Facebook. You guys can just click it. I put it over here on Instagram, but you know, you guys are going to have to search the name of that since you can't click it over there. You're going to have to search the name of that article, and it's the last few words of that hyperlink over there. How does that sound good? You guys got anything else? I thought there'd be more people this week. Everybody's off of school. So last night on my school, speaking of school, my SKOOL platform, we did what we call Sunday night swim. It was kind of fun. It was just me and one other dude, but I recorded it, so I put it over there. And it's basically my same thing I do here on Tuesdays with the CSS critiques. So plugged in a whole bunch of CSS critiques, and we went through them, and you can see them up on my school platform. That's where that video is. I think I did like 5 or 6 videos. Um, and then shut it down about 30 minutes, a quick 30-minute video if you're interested. So depending on how things go, I may be moving the CSS critiques over to the school platform. If you're not familiar with the school platform, it's just another form of uh, it's a little more personalized social media, if you will. So I'll send an invite to you guys if you're interested. Just click this link over here. I'm putting it over here on YouTube and Facebook. I'll put the link over here as well, but oops, that's not it. No, didn't copy. All right, there's my school platform. So you can see it school, skool.com, and there's a little link that takes you to my Stu Smith Tactical Fitness community that I created over there. So check it out. Verusk says, any tips on getting this underwater 50-meter down? For real breath holding, I'm being around a buddy, but what stroke should I use to practice 25s for now? Will I get less out of breath the more I do it? Yeah, you're going to get better at it. The goal of underwater swimming isn't focusing solely on breath hold. Yeah, you need to hold your breath, but guess what? If you're doing 25 yards, multiple 25 yards, you're only holding your breath for about 25 seconds, which isn't hard. What's hard is how hard you're working to get over to the other side. If you're not gliding more than pulling and kicking, then you're doing it wrong. It's pull glide, kick glide. One kick, not a bunch of flutter kicks. That's just going to get you winded. Not a bunch of strokes, just going to get you winded. It's pull glide, kick glide. And when you kick off that wall, what I want you to try to do is hold that glide as long as you can. Double arm pull, hold that glide, kick and recover. I got videos of this up on YouTube and up on Instagram and TikTok. You guys should watch those videos because it's all about efficiency in the water versus breath hold. I don't really practice a lot of breath holding other than doing some box breathing for stress relief and going to sleep. And I still work out, so I have a decent VO2 max type thing, but I don't do anything special for breath holding. You could follow a Wim Hof program and get your breath hold up to 3 or 4 minutes. Some of our guys do that. Hey, if that floats your boat, great. I've never done that. Never thought I needed it. What I needed was to be efficient in swimming and using less energy, because if you can be efficient swimming one end of the pool to the other, I promise you it's no harder than walking and holding your breath for 25 yards. Those are my tips. Get better at swimming underwater, gliding better, kicking better, double arm pull and gliding better, recovery of your arms when after you kick and double arm pull. That's going to get you swimming your over unders easily. Andrew says, I'm a follower of your periodization for years. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I always like talking to people who started this process because I've been doing it for 26 years. I started it when I turned 30 and I never quit. I've changed it multiple times of what, a year of training looks like, but yeah, it's been life-changing for me. So, I recently had an appendectomy which took me out of training, understand completely. have you ever had a surgery that took you out? What's a good way to get back? I haven't had a surgery that took me out completely. I had an ankle surgery that took my lower body out and running for a while, but I still did upper body stuff. Um, Even did one-legged things, one-legged squats, one-legged split squats, jumping jacks on one leg, burpees on one leg. I mean, it was, yeah, we still got after it. But with an appendectomy, it's going to be different anytime they rip open core tissue. But hopefully, it was just a small um, pinhole size process. They didn't require a whole bunch of stitches. So that should be pretty quickly for you for recovery. But what I would suggest is I wrote an article a while back ago called The Systems Check. I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but this one is great. I've done this one a few times when I was ill. Remember one year I had bronchitis and that messed me up. Ain't nobody got time for bronchitis. Um, that's a funny quote. But yeah, check this article out here, Andrew, and it'll walk you through the process of what my systems check is. Basically, it's very similar to doing a mobility day, but I slowly start introducing upper body movements and lower body movements through the process. And for me, when I had bronchitis, I'd look for things that started making me cough again or making me wheeze because still a little tight in there. So I had to keep my heart rate down, but I could still do all the exercises as long as I just kept my heart rate down, focus on my breathing, did a little more resting. And if I wanted to do an active rest, I had to hop on a bike or something that was nice and easy pedaling, kept my heart rate close to like 100, 110. Because if I got it up to like 130, 140, I'd start coughing. And that's what that systems check showed me. Showed me I wasn't quite ready to go to a full workout yet, but I found what I was able to do because of that systems check. And I did that for another couple of days. And, um, by the end of the week, I was getting back to normal. And then I just kind of re ramped it back up. I hope that helps. Nick says, what rep ranges do you like to aim for when adding weight to pull ups? Good question. We usually do a couple of things. Something I like to do whenever we do weight vest pull ups is it's a double set. So think of it like a drop set. We'll do a weight vest pull up routine where we just max reps. I want to see how many you can do. Can you do double digits? So that's the rep ranges we try to get everybody up to. That means 10 plus. Some of those guys can do 15, 20 with a 20-pound weight vest on. I think that's great. That's where you should be. It's kind of like the gold standard. And then, as soon as you take that weight vest off for that set, you hop back on, see how many non-weighted pull-ups you can do and see if you can match it. That's a really tough workout, but it's a good challenge. That's how we introduce weight vests to our calisthenics. We'll do the same thing. In fact, sometimes we'll go weight vest push-ups, weight vest pull-ups, weight vest dips. Then we'll take off the weight vest and go back to push-ups, or no, pull-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, dips, right? We kind of give a push-pull combo for it. So give that a shot and see how it works. So it's just think of it like a drop set, and really the rep ranges are your maxes, because what we're trying to do with adding weight is not necessarily a strength exercise by loading up the weight and shooting for 3 or 2. What we're trying to do is add muscle stamina to it, increase muscle stamina with added weight. So compared to your non-weighted pull-ups, it will be significantly less, sometimes up to 50% less. But if you can start getting that weighted pull up close to your non-weighted, like in the 75 percentile range, that's a really good standard. So that's my ranges, and it depends on your current max. I hope that makes sense. All right. So GGG Ira says he's going for diver, leaves in February. Advice for heavier guys, 6', 224, had no experience in swimming before. Just got I've got about 3 months of CSS experience. 500 right now is 1030, and I'd like to be way better. Yeah, my advice is keep doing it. If you can lose weight, I probably would. It's just going to make running easier. It's going to make treading easier, especially if that's a lot of muscle mass. If it's bulk, then you'll probably have no problem treading. But if it's too bulky, you'll have a problem with bobbing, bouncing off the bottom. So body density and composition does matter with swimming and treading and drown proofing and all those skills. But it also matters in running and doing obstacle courses that are very challenging for the heavier guy. So if you're going to be over 220, you really need to focus on your grip, because that's the first thing that goes when you're doing lots of pull-up calisthenics, rope climbs, obstacle courses, you name it. So work on that grip or lose weight or do both. But my advice for the CSS, yeah, you want to get that closer to 9, is work on the 50-50 swim workout. Have you seen the 50-50 swim workout? I mean, if you're doing this workout, it's in it. But if you're not, I give this thing away for free because it's so good. And if you can do this 4, 5, 6 times a week even, you're going to see big results. So the 50-50 swim workout is exactly what it sounds like. 50 meters of freestyle, 50 meters of CSS. Minimal rest, repeat that 10 to 15 times, and I promise you that 1,000 to 1,500 yard swim is going to get you in better shape and faster in that 500 yard swim pretty quick. I've seen guys go from 10 minutes to 8 minutes in 4 weeks. So make sure your technique is solid. That's the other thing. Send me a video of you swimming, and I can tell you if your technique is holding you back or is it just conditioning. Derek says, no question, just want to say I listened to your advice, took out the CSS pullout, and I don't stop dead anymore in the water, so thanks. Except for underwater swims, I stop kick at the kick part. That happens. Probably just over gliding. But yeah, send a video of you doing a 25-yard underwater swim. I'm happy to critique that as well. Here's the 50-50 swim workout I was telling you about, that link, if you're new to it. A lot of people do that one. All right. Okay. Well, I will tell you this. I need to go. Spend 30 minutes. I appreciate the questions. If I've missed any, just email me, stu@stewsmith.com. Happy to answer those as well. I'll be back tomorrow, so ask them again tomorrow if you'd like on this platform. And go check out the school platform. I'm going to grow that one, and I think it'll be a really neat platform with great access, easy access to videos and training and critiques and things like that. Podcasts, you name it. All right, guys, I got to go. You guys have a good one. Go check out stewsmithfitness.com. Plenty of stuff over there for you to read and learn, as well as programs and coaching as well. I will see you guys later. You guys have a